I may be the champion. I may have however many pounds of gold strapped around my waist, but this guy beat me up twice, and I want to beat him up now. What's up, Barnhill family? Welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So, Nick, Alexandre Pantoja, and I will never be able to say his name as well as Joe Martinez said last night. Very underrated ring announcer, by the way.
Yeah, he deserves a little shine every now and again.
I'm telling you, he really does a good job. Even, I love Buffer. I'm a sucker for Buffer. He's the OG. When you think of the UFC, you think of Bruce Buffer. But Joe Martinez is a close second in my book.
Yeah, I really like how he does it. I hope he sticks around for a long time. And I love Michael Buffer. He's a legend too. But I'm starting to really enjoy Joe Martinez and the way he came up with his own catchphrase to make some noise if you are ready. I love that. And the way he gets hyped for it. So it makes you feel the same way as when Bruce Buffer comes with the it's time. So it's really nice.
Yeah, he's definitely a budding star in the announcing space.
But you did a pretty good job recreating it.
Thank you. Yeah. So Mr. Pantoja last night got an excellent submission victory against Brandon Royval, a very tough cardio machine in Royval. This was a good fight for as long as it lasted. Pantoja has one of the most aggressive jiu-jitsu styles in MMA, in my opinion. He just relentlessly, from the beginning of the fight, will throw a few shots at you to shoot in on you and then aggressively attack a finish. And last night it was a rear naked choke that he was looking for in the first round. And Royval literally rolled the entire octagon. I mean, the guy got his back taken, and you would have thought that, an alligator had his back or something, because he was just rolling like crazy, trying to get out of it. It was a very impressive attempt. And actually, he did end up getting out of the back take in the first round. Pantoja was trying very hard to get the hooks in, and Royval got up. And then the end of that round, he started throwing some really heavy combinations, some of which hurt Pantoja. And then in the second round, Pantoja was ultimately able to get the submission, almost choking Royval to sleep, but for a bit of a late tap. Yeah. But it was a great fight, and the interesting thing is Pantoja's got 2 wins over the champ.
Yeah.
And he called him out last night. Moreno was there in the crowd doing commentary for ESPN Español. So that could be an interesting rematch.
Oh, it must happen. You know, when you've got a guy that has beaten the champ and he's just hanging out in the top of the division, there's only a matter of time. There's a matter of days or, a matter of titles opportunities that come, and then that guy deserves his shot. And not only, when you think about those types of situations, it's not the contender that wants that fight as bad as the champion wants it back.
Right.
Now, we might wind up seeing these two guys go at it 4 or 5 times because
Pacquiao Marquez of MMA.
Right. Or Dustin Connor if they keep going at it. But it's, if Moreno wins, then he's still down 2-1 on the scoreboard, right?
Right.
So he's got to try to get himself back up, and then if they go 2-2, then we have to have a 5th and final rubber match. So I don't really know if I see that happening, but I do think that he deserves a title shot after that performance last night. And in the 125 division, they are really doing a great job building it, but there's still not as many people, not as many stars down there. And I think Pantoja could be one of the guys that really helps elevate that division a little bit more. We went from everybody hating on flyweights to everybody loving the flyweights. Now we just need a few more to throw their name into the mix to get us excited for these fights. And Brandon Moreno, star. People love Brandon Moreno. Figueiredo, people really like him, or they don't like him, but he's a polarizing character. Cody No Love moving down, that brings a major star to the division. And now, but there's room for a few more. And I think, look at bantamweight right now. Everybody knows people from ranked from 1 all the way to about 10, 12, even the unranked guys like O'Malley. So I think when you look at the flyweight division, there's a lot of room to grow, and there's some marketable guys like Pantoja. And when you start to sell the fact that he's got 2 wins over the champ and he's just kind of looming in the division, it's only a matter of time before the masses get behind a fight between them, those 2 guys.
Yeah, and this is not 2 wins like, man, it was a close, controversial decision or something weird happened. It was, doctor stoppage because of a cut. He beat him 30-26 dominating victory,
Bad.
and then he submitted him with a rear naked choke in their other outing.
As if it wasn't bad enough the first time.
Yeah, and the Ultimate Fighter, I believe, was the first time, and then he defeated him by so Moreno is making improvements.
Yeah.
He lost by submission the first time. The second time he made it to the end, but it was a 30-26 outing for him. And normally, if I were to tell you that these two guys, here's two fighters here, Fighter A, Fighter B. Fighter A has fought Fighter B twice, beaten them both times. One was 30-26, one was a rear naked choke submission. You would say, okay, cool, nothing to see here. There's no reason for these two to ever fight again.
Right.
But when Fighter B happens to be the champion, it can't put Fighter A in any better position for a title shot. In my opinion, Pantoja jumped Davison last night in who's the number one contender because of that interest. One, it was a beautiful finish. It was a great fight against a very tough opponent. And then two, it worked out perfectly. Moreno was in the arena. They got to have a little back and forth with each other, which was nice. And three is the record. He's got 2 wins over the champion.
Yeah, I mean, it has to happen. And I don't think that Cody No Love has to do any lifting at 125 to get a title shot.
Right.
I believe he will move right in, kind of like how John Jones is just waiting to get the heavyweight shot. But, you know, if we have to see some sort of activity between him and Davis and Figueiredo, we throw those two guys in there for like a fight night main event. Figueiredo 5 rounds versus Cody No Love entering the 125 division. And that would be a number one contenders matchup while we let Brandon Moreno do his thing with Pantoja, and then you see where the dust settles. 4-man tournament.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
think that it would really elevate the flyweight division, because I think Moreno, there's a lot of pressure on Moreno to win that fight, because if you lose 3 in a row to a guy that's in your division, good luck getting a title shot back at, Brandon Moreno's going to have to go to the back of the queue because he's not going to get another shot. What are you going to let him go 0-4 against Pantoja? Or
Right.
So there's a lot of pressure on Moreno if he fights Pantoja. And I think Moreno is one of those guys who wants to help the others in the industry. He's not the type of guy to, as Chael Sonnen says, get up in the loft and then pull the ladder up so nobody else. Pantoja, if he's doing what he has done to deserve this title shot, Moreno's going to give it to him. And even if that puts a ton of pressure on Moreno, that's what these fighters get into the sport for major moments, for incredible history-making moments.
Yeah.
And Moreno offering a title shot to a guy that's beat him twice, that would be a pretty cool story. I think it would do good numbers for a flyweight fight.
I think so. And there's almost no situation in which the challenger has much less pressure on his shoulders than the champion.
Yeah.
But this is that situation. As you said, if Moreno loses and he's 0-3 against Pantoja, a lot of people will be saying, okay, go ahead and close the book on that. Pantoja is the better fighter than Moreno.
Right.
I believe Moreno has made tremendous improvements, even from Davison 1 to Davison 2.
For sure.
Clearly, night and day difference. He's a different fighter. The guy's still in his 20s. Pantoja is 31 years old, so he caught Moreno in a much younger point in his career, early 20s. And so I could see, this being a situation where Moreno's able to right that ship and get it back. And the competitor and the warrior that he is going to want this one back. You know what? Right. I may be the champion. I may have however many pounds of gold strapped around my waist, but this guy beat me up twice, and I want to beat him up now.
Yeah, and the mental fight that comes along with is crazy. When you have somebody that beat you, if you're in sparring you have training camp and you're in sparring and somebody beats you every single time, you know exactly how you fare against that person. Brandon Moreno knows exactly how he fares against Pantoja. So there's a certain confidence you get when you're the better fighter, and there's a certain hesitance you get when you're not the better fighter. So I think that would really make for an interesting fight. I think Pantoja is a marketable guy. And like I said, I do want to see those two go at it before we see Cody No Love get inserted into the division. And I think maybe we do a 4-man tournament. You get Davison and Cody in there, because that's like two bad guys going against each other.
Yeah, heel battle.
And you get Cody to get his toes wet in the flyweight division against the former champ, so we know exactly where he stands. Amongst the division. And then he gets shot right into a title fight.
I think that's the perfect scenario. And it'll be really interesting to see when the odds come out, if they do make Pantoja Moreno, who's the favored fighter.
Yeah, well, I know who I would put as the favorite fighter as of right now.
Was that who, Pantoja?
Yeah, it'd be Pantoja.
Yeah, history will repeat itself, right?
That's right.
Well, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I don't know yet if I'm willing to say what Nick just said, that he would put Pantoja as the favorite. I still think the Assassin Baby can be a dominant champ at 125, even with the 2 losses. But let us know in the comments, what do you think about the title fight that seems to us like has to happen? And if you've enjoyed this video, a like and subscribe is always appreciated. And check us out on audio where you listen to podcasts. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Peace.